What's up, RT?
Nick, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good. You have your Increased Jesus hat on?
Oh, yeah.
I just
I'm
noticed that.
representing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. They've been good to us this year,
Yeah.
this season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seth, thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Check out the website, increasejesus.com.
Yeah, you can grab the Increased Jesus shirt you see us wearing occasionally, that cool hat there you have on. And,
It's something.
if you use Tough-10, you get 10% off everything you order.
Nice.
Did you know that?
I know it now. I think it was mentioned once before.
Yeah, we've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome back, Tough Men of Faith.
You having a good week?
Oh, yeah. Great week.
What have you been doing this week?
Man, I've just been working. Just loads and loads of work's been getting done
Yeah.
wherever I go.
Really?
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Building any houses this week?
Yep. Got 4 or 5 under construction.
Okay.
A lot of big things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. What you been doing? Pastor stuff?
Pastor stuff.
Just taking it easy since Sunday?
Yeah. I worked on Sunday for about an hour, and
Yeah.
plan on working next Sunday about an hour, and
Nice.
maybe the Sunday after that. And so
Not a
it's-
bad week.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, I've started running this week, so I'm a little sore.
On purpose?
I have a fitness test coming up.
Oh,
I got to
okay.
run for it.
Yeah, I got you.
I hate running.
Yes, might as well, start getting a little better at it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty slow.
Well, you ruck, don't you?
I do that. I don't
Okay.
mind.
Do you jog when you do that?
No, but I walk.
You walk fast like a mall walker's pace?
That's
You're
what,
getting to that age now.
that's what my wife calls me.
Is it?
A mall walker, yeah.
Mall walker with a backpack.
We put in, so in April, we're trying to walk, we set a goal. I can't remember what it was. I think, walk 300 miles together this year.
Okay.
So she walks all the time, for
Oh, okay.
exercise, and I'll go
Yeah.
out and walk in the morning, sometimes by myself. But this year we're trying to intentionally, walk together
Okay.
and find times in evenings instead of this doing nothing.
Yeah.
So we set a goal of the 300 miles. So in April, we hit just under 50 miles. So
Okay.
it was.
Cool.
But I bet you half of those were in the mall downtown.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's-
Yeah. How do you know how far you walk? Do you have
Have you ever heard of the smartwatch?
You got one of those wheels or something you roll in front of you?
No.
Make sure you hit
The
your...
watch tracks it all.
Okay.
So then you can just go back and it shows you your workouts. And
Gotcha.
I was looking back through all our indoor walks, and one day we hit 7 miles
Yeah.
in the mall. So it's
How many times did you walk around it?
it's a big mall. The convention center's attached, and
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
walk through the hotels.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
yeah.
Be trying to figure out ways to cheat that.
To cheat the miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen's not a cheater, so
Okay,
we're
well,
gonna hit it.
good for you.
Yeah, we're gonna hit all the miles. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right.
Um.
So what are we talking about?
Well, I had a couple ideas I want to talk about over the next couple weeks, so
Well, we might as well start now.
I'll mention one. You tell me what sounds good, you want to talk about today.
Okay.
Want to be from this sermon this past Sunday. We looked
I
at.
didn't pay much attention to
I
it.
know you didn't. That's why I'm bringing it up now.
Yeah.
In 1 Timothy, about training yourself for godliness.
Oh, yeah.
First Timothy, is it ringing a bell now?
Yeah. Weren't we reading Titus 2?
No,
Titus as well.
no,
Not Titus 2.
no. We're in 1 Timothy.
Okay.
Anyways, so that we definitely need to cover that again.
Maybe that's why I was lost during the sermon.
Maybe.
What the heck?
Maybe.
It's like,
Well, I
where's
said-
he reading this from? This is not the ESV.
I kept looking out there, and you looked like you were lost, so I didn't know what it was.
That's what it was.
Hey, why were you laughing when I mentioned throwing a wrench at someone?
I think it was just the way that you pronounced wrench.
Wrench.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounded like ranch.
that's what I heard.
And, you get to talking so fast sometimes that the words just come flying out.
Okay.
And, luckily for you and your job, you don't use any 4-letter words on a regular basis. Because I could see in your position, the way you talk so fast sometimes, accidentally slipping one of those in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have that we could talk about.
Okay.
Also want to talk about something I've been trying to work on because I'm really bad at it. Is being a better listener.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not good at that, huh?
I've been told I'm not.
We've talked about this before, I think.
We have.
Okay.
I thought it'd be something good to
Maybe,
come
we
back
should
to.
hit on it again.
I read an article in Harvard Business Review that talked about these 10 steps to being a better listener or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
let's talk about that.
So we have that.
Did my wife get a hold of you and tell you to talk about this?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you that, but Rachel called me up the other day. She's like, "Hey, is there anyone in the podcast you guys can just talk about being a better listener? Maybe
Yeah.
Nick will pick up now."
Yeah, Nick just zones out whenever I
Yeah.
start talking.
And then just something I've been working on in my life of action over words and seizing the day.
Okay.
So I just
A
kind
little
of
carpe diem.
yeah, there's 5 things I wrote down that I'm trying to
All right.
look at. So
Let's talk about it.
pick it up. Which one you want?
Let's talk about you.
None of them are about me.
They're all about you.
No, they're not.
Okay. Karen told me that you're not a good listener.
Oh, okay. Let's do listening.
All right, let's do it.
All right. You have your Bible ready?
I don't.
All right.
I'm listening. I'm not talking. Go ahead. What do you got?
Proverbs 18:13.
Well, that's going to take a minute.
It's right there in the middle.
I don't get any service in this room.
Oh. Should say something about if one gives an answer before he hears, he's a fool. Or something.
What?
If one gives an answer, like before actually listening,
Oh, yeah, he's a fool.
he's a fool.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
If one gives an answer before he hears, yeah, it is folly and shame. He's a fool.
Yeah, he's
He's an idiot.
basically.
He should
Mixed
listen to
translation.
everything before he gives an answer.
All right. Are you ever guilty of that?
I do it all the time.
I do too.
Yeah. My wife, she'll cut me off and be like, stop cutting me off and let me finish what I'm saying.
But you know what she's going to say, or you think you know.
Yeah, I think
so
I
I'm
have
just
an
gonna
idea.
Go ahead and answer for you.
Yep. We'll just
Yeah.
go ahead and fix it now. You don't
Yeah.
have to tell me the whole story. I got the clip notes in the first 6 words.
Yeah, this is why I said we need to come back to this topic. I know we have in the years
Right.
past.
Yep.
Because you're still being a fool. So it's
Yeah.
this verse is what got me thinking about it.
I always notice that too. Is like whenever I talk to smarter people,
Mhm.
they will have they will have silences that are almost uncomfortable,
Mhm.
just to see what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And it's awkward sitting there talking to someone in a conversation, and then they just you say something, and they don't say anything.
Yeah.
And then they'll pick back up and say something after I've generally said something stupid, or something that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the things we look at is because what many people are doing who are good listeners is when they're listening, they're not thinking, how am I going to respond the entire time you're talking? They're processing what you're saying.
Yeah, they're analyzing it.
Right. And then once you finish talking, let me think for a second or two.
Right.
And then respond to you. So I give you a good response, and that I'm actually listening to you and it's not listening to respond.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna be smart people.
Well, we're gonna attempt to act like them anyway.
Right. Well, here's when I was kind of thinking about this, we all hear things, but we all don't listen.
Right.
It's like hearing comes natural.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Listening doesn't.
Right.
So do you think listening's a learned skill?
Yeah, I think listening and understanding and analyzing is a learned skill.
Yeah. Which we need, so effort, practice.
Yeah, I think like you said, not listening just to give a response, but listening to actually, analyze it and hear what they're saying
Yeah.
I think it's a learned skill.
Well, and you spend, 12 years in school. If you go kindergarten, 12th grade.
Yeah.
Or if you do college, you spend 16 or 20, how many ever years.
Right.
You take all kinds of classes on writing
Yeah.
and reading, but you never get a class on listening.
You didn't have to go to listening class?
So I was a communication major.
Oh, okay.
And so I remember one class, it was kind of built into the title.
Okay.
But the only reason I had a listening class is because I was in a communication major, right?
Right.
Otherwise, you're not going to take a class on listening.
Yeah.
And you don't through grade school and high school. But to me, it's like a learned skill, just like reading and writing.
How'd you do in your communication class?
Which one?
Did you ace it?
No,
You seem to be a good
I
communicator.
didn't ace any classes in college, man. C's and D's.
Yeah. Got your pastoral doctorate
That
with a
was-
D minus.
That's
Good thing it was
pretty-
pass fail.
pretty close. When I went to go to seminary, they got my transcripts and I got denied.
Yeah.
So I drove down to the seminary
Really?
and I just sat outside the dean's office like, hey, can we meet? And it's one of those things where I actually just kind of sat there until I seen him come in.
Yeah.
And he agreed to meet with me. And I had to explain that my grades don't reflect my academic ability, which they probably did, but it's
It's like, well, I guess we'll take you.
yeah, it's basically, so they took me on
Yeah.
probation.
You
So,
said your money's good, so
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Anyways, so listening's one of those things I think we need to work on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
And
then,
analyze what you hear. And,
Yeah.
give a good response and don't try and finish your wife's sentences for her. I hope she doesn't listen to this.
yeah.
I've gotten in so much trouble here lately for that.
Have you really?
Yeah.
This is a pointed topic. Like
I know.
Rachel really didn't call and tell me
Really?
this, but no, she really didn't.
on.
Yeah. But if you're a better listener, it's going to help your marriage.
Yeah.
It's going to help you with your friends.
Right. It's going to help you at work.
It's going to help you at work. It's
Yeah.
going to help you as a parent. It's going to help you in every area.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially your marriage if you're married.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's jump into. I haven't really read through this article much, so I'm just
Great.
going to kind of
You're going to wing it.
give you the main points. But
Oh,
it's,
you don't wing anything.
It's from Harvard Business Review, How to Become a Better Listener.
Well, it's got to be right.
It has to be good. Right. All right. So let me see how many there are. There's 9 things.
There's 46 points.
Yeah.
Someone was an overachiever when they wrote this.
This one's coming from the smart people at Harvard. So,
okay.
The first thing they said for being a better listener, repeat people's last few words back to them.
Oh, I hate when people do that.
If you remember nothing else, remember this simple practice that does so much. It makes the other person feel listened to, keeps you on track during the conversation, and provides a pause for both of you to gather your thoughts or recover from an emotional reaction.
See, and that's where I always screw up, because when there's that pause, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm expected to say something else. I need to get better at that pause.
Yeah, I think sometimes your problem is you have some great one-liners sometimes, and you
Yeah.
probably should just maybe think before you say them.
I should. I agree.
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
So do you not like it when people repeat the last few words back to you?
No, it's okay. I just it's that I almost feel like they're asking whatever those last handful of words were. Like they didn't believe me the first time I said it, so they're saying it back to me. Like I almost feel like it's a question.
So you feel like it's a question when they repeat it back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
But just like that, I mean, it almost makes you question yourself or question
Yeah.
what you just said.
Well, I think the pause is what's important. So even if you don't repeat it back, if there is a short pause to help you kind of gather your thoughts, and the other thing, like an emotional reaction, because you may
Yeah.
unfairly react.
Right.
Yeah, which goes in that proverb we read.
Maybe well, we should take this back to one of our other episodes when we talked about, when you have an argument with your spouse or your wife or your girlfriend, maybe a little pause
Yeah.
before
Yep.
saying something back would be helpful
Okay.
for some people.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
Me and my wife don't have any arguments, but some people do.
right. For the rest of us that are normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, don't put it in your own words unless you need to.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple studies have shown that direct repetition works even though it may feel unnatural. Rephrasing there's some big words here, man. Basically,
Just sound it out. Talk real slow.
you don't need to put it in your own words, but rephrase. You can say what they said, but does that make sense?
Not really. You said don't put it in your own words, but do rephrase it.
Don't rephrase it, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little confusing here. Man, this was written for smart people.
Right.
Only when you need to. And if you need to, say this: I'm going to put this in my own words to make sure I understand.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So tell them,
Yeah.
hey, I hear what you're saying.
Right.
Let me put this in my own words to make sure I understand.
Yeah. Let me dumb this down a little bit for myself to make sure that we're saying the same thing.
Right. I mean, sometimes maybe not dumb it down, but to make sure you and your spouse are on the same page.
Exactly.
Hey, let me make sure I understand what all we're doing this weekend.
Yeah. Let me understand what you're spending money on and why.
Or that.
Like,
Yeah. Number 3.
that's the thing. A lot of people have issues with that.
With what?
Spouses buying things that their spouse doesn't think is necessary.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a big thing, and maybe
Yeah.
maybe you should, when you repeat it back to them in your own words, yeah, maybe it makes it more understandable.
Yeah, and some of that doesn't come down to financial issues as much as like a lack of communication.
Right.
And you're not listening to understand why they really need this item or that
Yeah.
item.
Yeah. Exactly.
Number 3, offer nonverbal cues that you're listening, but only if it comes natural to you.
Like this. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's not natural for you. Makes me want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
So it's
Nice.
eye contact, attentive posture, nodding, and other nonverbal cues are important, but it's hard to pay attention to someone's words when you are busy reminding yourself to make regular eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
So just do what's natural, but offer some nonverbal cues.
Okay.
Do you feel like they help, nonverbal cues?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recently had a meeting with someone that stared me in the eyes the entire time.
Did you like that?
No. Nope. Right, yeah. It makes you really uncomfortable.
It does. It does. Okay. Pay attention to nonverbal cues.
Right.
Remember that active listening means paying attention to both the explicit and implicit information that you're receiving in a conversation.
Remember when we were on the other podcast?
Yes.
Oh, they didn't pay attention to my nonverbal cues.
Oh, that you had to go to the restroom?
Yeah. Dude, I had to go like My teeth were floating. I was so full. And it's like, I got to go now, finally. I just
Yeah.
about got up and went.
You about this?
It's like, how do we do a timeout or a
Yeah.
pause or something?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's saying nonverbal cues such as tone. You got to pick up on tone, man.
Oh, yeah.
Voice, facial expression, body language are usually where the motivation and emotion behind the words is expressed.
Okay.
So you can learn a
That's
lot.
like why you preach with your hands. Verbal cues like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Just get them out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 5.
We're ready.
Ask more questions than you think you need to.
Okay.
This both improves the other person's experience of feeling listened to, ensures that you fully understand their message, and can serve as a prompt to make sure important details aren't overlooked.
Okay.
I think this is a big one.
Yeah.
Like asking questions, like just to make sure you understand.
Don't assume anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 6. Minimize distractions as much as possible.
Right. Like turn your phone off.
Yeah, or
Stop fidgeting with something in your pocket.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to avoid noise, interruptions, and other external distractions.
Right. That's why you look over me when you preach. Well, you don't have to watch me laughing
Yeah.
with my nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
I got to start sitting somewhere else.
No, you're fine there on the second row. This is a big one for me. The reason I struggle at listening is I get distracted easy.
Oh, yeah.
So if I go to, like if I meet somebody for lunch at a restaurant,
Yeah.
it's usually some type of place that has burgers because that's what I love eating for lunch.
Yeah.
And there's usually places with burgers have TVs that are on every single wall.
Right.
And just a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really easy for me to like if they're
I don't know if I have ADHD, but I might.
Yeah, I don't know. If they keep talking, going on and on, like
Yeah. Hey, shorten your story up a
Yeah.
little bit, okay?
and it's not even on them. Like even if it's a short story, there's a good chance that
Yeah.
I'm getting distracted by
Anything?
like a cornhole tournament on the TV,
Right.
Or something. It could be something I'm not even interested
Yeah, something
in.
you would normally never watch.
Right. Yeah. So
What else I would normally not do? Have lunch with you. So
yeah, but the distractions. I think the phone's the biggest one.
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Or for me now, it's my watch.
Okay.
So I don't have my phone like on my table when I'm eating and
yeah,
meeting
nice.
with someone, but my watch is on. So
Okay.
if my watch
So it's
buzzes,
kind
I'm
of the
like,
same thing.
man, someone text me. I
Right.
really want to know what that is.
It could be really important.
I'm trying to pay attention.
Yeah.
But yeah. Number 7.
Yeah.
Acknow-
Yeah,
Go
never
ahead.
mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. Acknowledge shortcomings.
Okay.
If you're going into a conversation that you may be a subpar listener because you're exhausted from a dozen intense conversations earlier that day, unfamiliar with the topic under discussion or any other reason, let the other person know right away.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I'm just really exhausted from all the conversations I've had today, so I'm not going to pay much attention to
yeah,
you.
I'm sure this one works in some cases.
Yeah, I think
like if
so.
you and I were getting together to plan out the podcast for the future, and I'd be like, Nick, I've had a long day. Like,
Yeah.
been in meetings all day. I'm a natural introvert, so I'm not big on talking all day, anyways, and
Yeah.
I have been. So just know that it's gonna be hard for me to focus.
I got you.
But if you're a dude and you go home to your wife, like it may not be best to lead
Yeah.
with, "Hey, honey, I read this Harvard Business
Yeah.
Review, and it spoke on communication,
Right.
and I just want you to know I'm exhausted from the dozen intense conversations I had today,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to be a good
I might
listener."
try that tonight.
You know, you
Well,
do it back and report back to
But
us.
it kind of goes back to the other hand, too, is when you are having a conversation with somebody and you're listening to somebody and hearing what they have to say, you generally need to tune out everything else that's been going on for
Yeah.
the day, or, you need to kind of put that over to the side and actually focus on where you're at.
Yeah.
And if you can't find yourself doing that, maybe it's a good idea to say, hey, I realize you really want to have this conversation right now, but I need like 20 minutes to decompress
Yeah.
because I'm not going to listen to a word you're
Yeah.
going to say anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a good. Actually, all joking aside, it's a
Yeah.
pretty good one too.
Yeah, it is.
Karen and I learned a lot from this early on in our marriage because I fall asleep when I go to bed.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's a certain time, like I'm done.
Well, when I hit the pillow,
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't need any time.
And she can talk during that time,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It's like so she doesn't just fall right asleep.
Right.
So she'll want to have a conversation, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm a great listener. I just may start snoring.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I might have to stand up if you want me to stay awake.
so we've learned that that's not the best time for intense conversations.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found too, like, especially after a long day at work or a long
Yeah.
week, and Rachel knows now, if I just go sit in the garage, she just doesn't come out and bother me for, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She lets me have my time to decompress, to, unwind a little bit, and then eventually she'll come out and, hey, you got a few minutes to talk? And she'll actually wait for an answer and say, yes or no before she generally before she starts talking
Yeah.
about whatever it is she needs to talk about.
You ready for number 8?
I guess.
Don't rehearse your response while the other person is talking.
Well, I don't do that.
Yeah. Take a brief pause after they finish speaking to compose your thoughts, which we already kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
This will require a conscious effort. People think about 4 times faster than other people talk.
Okay.
So you think 4 times faster than other people talk. So you've got spare brain power. Normal people have spare brain power when you're a listener.
Yeah, great.
Use it to stay. I didn't want to imply anything that may not be true about you. Use it to stay focused and take in as much as information as possible.
Yeah. Dude, it's going to freak our wives out when they start talking and we just leave a pause when they quit. Like, make it almost uncomfortable, like 10 seconds.
That's not the plan, man. They're going to be so thankful that you're actually listening.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I won't be jumping back to give them a response.
Yeah.
I'll be, really sitting there weighing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
she's going to think you're one of those smart people you talked about at the beginning.
right.
Yeah. But this one's good. Like, how many times do you start thinking automatically?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, I'm going to need a pad of paper to write down my thoughts before she gets done talking.
Number 9, last one.
Okay.
Monitor your emotions. If you have an emotional reaction, slow the pace of the conversation. Do more repetition. Pay attention to your breathing.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Here, listen to this next line. You don't want to respond in a way that will cause the other person to disengage.
Maybe you do. Maybe you want them to shut up. I'm tired of listening.
We're looking for healthy communication.
Yep.
Here's what we're going for. So,
I like that we can joke about it and still be serious.
yeah. But it goes on to kind of
I'm mostly
conclude
serious.
That listening's a complex job with many subtasks. It's possible to be good at it sometimes, bad at it other times. Rather than thinking of yourself as a good listener or a bad listener, just start evaluating your skills.
Yeah.
And really see how you're doing.
Yep.
So the article is called "How to Become a Better Listener." It's on Harvard Business Review. You can
Nice.
look it up and see it.
Yeah, I
But
found out that lately, like especially walking people's homes, with the homeowners and while they're trying to make decisions and pick things out and things that are going to suit them best in their life, it's like let them talk about it, let them get their emotion out about it, and then correct, why it's a good idea or a bad
Yeah.
idea. And if you let them finish talking and then ask you what your opinion is on it, they generally take your opinion a lot better than you
Yeah.
just jumping in and saying something.
Yeah.
And that probably works with a lot of scenarios in
Yeah, I
life.
think so. And I think we can all think about people we know who are good listeners.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of these things.
Right.
And we enjoy talking to them.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, they're easier to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for today?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to put some of this into action.
Do it. Hey, just pick one.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to pause.
Going to pause.
Like 15 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to ask more questions than you think you need to.
That's something that you do.
I need to do better at it, though.
Okay.
So I think. I think I do.
Yeah. This has been good.
It's been good.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rachel called, said
Right.
you needed help in this area, and
Here we are.
here we are. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Make sure to like on
Yeah, check out
YouTube
some of the
and
reels on
everywhere.
Instagram and
Yeah, the
YouTube.
reels.
Yeah.
Are you on Instagram?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think I have an account. I don't get on there much, but
I didn't know. I know Tough Men of Faith's on there. I'm not on there until my kid the other day was so pumped because I don't know, pumped or embarrassed, one or
Yeah.
the other. She goes, "Dad, I was looking through reels, and I seen one of yours."
Yeah.
So
Great.
yeah,
Thanks, producer Blake.
yeah. I said, well,
You're knocking it out.
I said something like and share with your friends, and I said whatever I said was the wrong lingo to use for Instagram.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
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 Anyways, it's out there.
Yep. Check it out.
Check it out. Share it with your friends.
Yep. And thanks again to Increase Jesus.
Yeah.
And check them out. What's the code? Tough10?
Tough-10.
Tough-10. Use
Yep.
the code, get 10% off.
Yep. That's it.
Give it to your local charity or something.
Yeah.
Or just keep it. Inflation's tough these days.
See you next week.
See ya.